Anxiety doesn't knock, it breaks in. You could be sitting in your room, doing nothing wrong, and suddenly your heart's pounding, your chest is tight, and your mind is screaming like the world's about to collapse. But the worst part? Nothing's actually happening. No one sees it. You're suffering in silence. That's the thing with anxiety. It's invisible, but it feels like it's killing you from the inside. And you're expected to smile through it. Go to work, reply to messages, be productive, be normal. But deep down, you're drowning. You ever lie awake at night thinking about something small you said 10 days ago? Or overanalyze a 2-word text message for hours like it holds the meaning of life? Yeah, that's not you being crazy. That's your nervous system being hijacked by thoughts you didn't even choose. And the truth is, you were never taught how to deal with this. No one gave you a manual for staying calm in a world that profits from your fear. You were told to stay strong, man up, just relax. But what if I told you that 2,000 years ago, people felt the same? They didn't have smartphones, but they had something worse: war, exile, betrayal, loss, chaos, and they still found peace. How? Stoicism, not the fake kind that tells you to feel nothing, but the real kind, the kind that shows you how to master your emotions without letting them destroy you. This isn't self-help fluff. This isn't breathe in, breathe out, manifest peace. This is mental warfare. This is about building an unshakable mind in a world that constantly shakes you. And if you've been stuck in your own head, spiraling, overthinking, waking up with dread in your chest, then keep watching, because what you need isn't more positivity. You need clarity. You need power over your own thoughts. You need what Marcus Aurelius trained himself to do every day while ruling Rome during plagues and wars. He said, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or no, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. Let that hit you. Anxiety doesn't come from life. It comes from how you process life, and that means you can fight back. You don't need a new life. You need a new lens. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 unbreakable Stoic laws to beat anxiety and master your inner world, step by step. No fake promises, no spiritual talk, just raw mental clarity. Because if you keep waiting for the world to calm down, you're going to wait forever. The only thing you can control, the only thing that has ever been yours, is your own mind. And that's the exact part you've been giving away every day, to fear, to guilt, to comparison, to thoughts that don't serve you. But from this moment on, that ends. Here's what I want you to do right now. Like this video if you're done being owned by your own thoughts. Comment below and tell me, are you feeling this already? Subscribe to this channel because we don't do soft motivation here. We do mental mastery. And send this to someone who needs to shut the world off and come back to themselves. You're not too broken. You're not too far gone. You're just stuck in a loop no one taught you how to escape, until now. These Stoic laws won't just help you cope, they'll help you transform. You'll learn how to sit in chaos and stay calm, how to watch your thoughts without obeying them, and how to stop being bullied by your own mind, but only if you listen, not just with your ears, but with your entire being. Because this is the beginning of you taking your peace back and never giving it away again. Drop this in the comments right now if you're ready for war. I am no longer a prisoner of my thoughts. I'm training for peace. Let's get into it. Number 1. See the storm, but stand still inside. Let's get one thing straight. Anxiety doesn't need a reason. It shows up even when everything seems fine. You could be sitting in your car, nothing's wrong, no one's calling, and still, boom, heart's racing, your jaws clenched, your brain won't shut up, Your body is ready to run even though there's nowhere to go. That's what makes it terrifying. And most people, they panic the moment it hits. They try to distract themselves, numb it, escape it. But here's what the Stoics knew. You can't outrun the storm. You have to outlast it. Because the storm isn't outside. It's inside your mind. And until you learn how to face it, it will keep controlling you. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who carried the weight of the world, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is not just about thinking positive. This is about facing the storm in your mind and not letting it move you. So, let me ask you, what happens when anxiety hits? Most people fight it. They resist. They tell themselves, "Stop thinking like this." But that's like yelling at fire to go out. It only feeds the flame. The Stoics took a completely different approach. They watched it. They didn't judge it. They didn't try to push it away. They observed it like it was weather, temporary, not permanent, not personal. When you start seeing your anxiety this way, not as you, but as something passing through you, you stop reacting to it like it's the end of the world. It's not. It's just a signal. It's your body saying, "Hey, something feels unsafe. Can we pause?" And when you pause, when you don't immediately panic or feed the thought, something powerful happens. You create space. You create stillness. That stillness is where power lives. Not in reacting to every fear, not in solving every imagined problem, but in being the one who stays rooted, even when the mind wants to run. Think of it like this. There's the storm, and then there's the eye of the storm. It's violent all around, but dead calm at the center. Your job is to become the eye. That's law 1. Don't become the storm. Become the stillness inside it. So how do you do that? Start simple. The moment you feel anxious, pause. Don't react. Don't scroll. Don't numb. Just breathe. And say to yourself, this is a thought. This is a feeling. It's passing through. I don't have to obey it. This is a Stoic practice called cognitive detachment. It means you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. Seneca, who lived through exile and political chaos, once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." That's it. Most of what makes us anxious never actually happens. But it feels real, because our imagination keeps rehearsing disasters that may never come. The Stoics understood something that modern people forget. The real battle is not the world. It's how your mind interprets the world. And when you train yourself to observe instead of react, you begin to take your power back, thought by thought. It's like training a wild horse. At first, it bucks, it resists. But if you stay calm, if you don't feed it fear or panic, eventually it calms down. Your anxiety is the same. So, the next time that spiral starts, the racing heartbeat, the sweaty hands, the looping thoughts, don't fight it, don't run, sit, breathe, watch. Like a warrior in meditation, like a lion resting in the middle of chaos. Because that's what Stoicism teaches. You don't need to remove the storm. You need to become unshakable in the middle of it. And that kind of calm, that's not passive, that's power. The world can spin, your schedule can fall apart, people can betray you, but your center stays untouched. That's law 1. And if you even practice this 10% of the time, you'll already be living different from 99% of people, not controlled by fear, not ruled by the mind, but finally, rooted. I want you to drop this in the comments if you feel it. I am not the storm. I am the calm inside it. Number 2, let go of what you don't control. You want to know one of the fastest ways to destroy your peace? Try to control what was never yours to control in the first place. Think about how much anxiety in your life comes from things outside of you. what someone thinks of you, whether they text you back, if your boss appreciates your work, if you'll succeed in 5 years. If the world stays stable, you keep trying to fix everything, predict every outcome, be 5 steps ahead of the worst-case scenario. But here's the Stoic truth no one tells you. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. Your anxiety isn't just from fear, it's from trying to manage what isn't yours. It's from mentally chasing people who've already left. It's from wanting the world to act how you wish it would, instead of how it actually does. You know what happens when you try to control everything? You burn out. You become addicted to planning, obsessed with outcomes, paralyzed by the unknown. You spend your energy on things you can't influence, and in the process, you lose touch with the one thing you can, your own mind. That's where Stoicism flips everything. Instead of asking, "What can I fix?" the Stoic asks, "What can I actually control?" It's a brutally honest question, but it gives you immediate peace. Here's the Stoic list of what you control: your thoughts, your attitude, your actions, how you respond. That's it. Not the weather, not the past, not how someone sees you, not whether they love you back. And that's hard to accept, because it means surrendering your illusions. But here's the paradox. The more you surrender what's not yours, the more powerful you become. Letting go isn't weakness. It's choosing where to put your energy. Imagine you're carrying 2 backpacks. One has your thoughts, your actions, your responses. The other people's opinions, the future, the past, things you can't change. Which one are you putting your energy into? If you're like most people, you're exhausted because you're carrying both. But the Stoics only carried one. That's why Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, would start his days reminding himself, "You may not control the events around you, but you can control how you meet them." And that's the law. Let go of what you don't control. Master what you do. If someone ghosts you, that's not in your control. But how you respond, that's yours. If you fail at something, the result might not be yours. But showing up again tomorrow, that's yours. If people talk behind your back, you can't stop them. But you can walk with dignity and stay in your lane. The Stoic doesn't argue with the wind. He adjusts his sails. And the moment you do that, you take your power back. You stop emotionally bleeding for things that were never yours. You stop letting your day collapse because one person didn't meet your expectations. It's not giving up. It's freeing up your attention to focus on what really matters. And here's what happens when you practice this consistently. You get mentally lighter. You stop begging life to be fair. You stop getting dragged by people's opinions. You stay grounded even when others are chaotic. That's how you beat anxiety, not by avoiding problems, but by mastering your focus. It's not the size of the problem that breaks you. It's how much of your mind you give to it. So next time you feel anxiety rising, ask yourself, am I trying to control something that isn't mine? If the answer is yes, breathe. Let it go. Recenter. Your peace is too expensive to waste on things you were never meant to carry. You'll be amazed how much calmer life becomes when you simply let people be who they are, let situations play out, and come back to your own lane. That's the Stoic move. Not controlling everything, just controlling yourself so well, so powerfully, that the rest of the world starts to lose its grip on your inner world. Drop this in the comments if you're claiming this mindset now. I release what isn't mine to control. I choose peace. Number 3, build quiet rituals in a loud world. You know what's killing your peace? Noise, not just the noise outside, cars, notifications, endless content, but the constant mental noise inside your head. what you didn't do today, what you should have said, how someone looked at you, whether you're enough, whether you'll ever feel free. And it never stops, does it? From the moment your eyes open, the world attacks. Before you even stand up, your phone steals your attention. Your nervous system is already under fire, and you haven't even had breakfast. We live in a world that glorifies constant movement. More productivity, more grinding, more stimulation. But what if I told you, peace isn't something you stumble into. It's something you schedule, daily, intentionally, without apology. That's what the Stoics did. They didn't hope for peace, they created it, on purpose. Marcus Aurelius, even as emperor, carved out space for journaling every morning. Not because he had time, but because he knew, without quiet, the mind rots. He wrote, "People look for retreats in the mountains, the sea, the countryside. You can retreat into yourself at any moment. Let that land. You don't need to fly to Bali. You don't need to escape your life. You just need a ritual, a sacred moment, a mental boundary where the world doesn't get to enter, because without it, the world will own you." This is where Law 3 comes in. Create quiet rituals in a loud world, or be destroyed by its noise. Now, when I say ritual, I don't mean some Instagram-worthy morning routine with matcha and expensive candles. I mean this: a small, consistent, private act of stillness that reminds your mind who's in charge. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Claim the first 10 minutes before anyone can message you, before the news screams at you, before the algorithm decides your mood. Sit with yourself. No scrolling, no noise, just silence. You can write, you can stretch, you can sit still with your breath. What matters isn't the activity, it's the intention. You're saying, "This time is mine. Before the world gets anything from me, I return to me." That small ritual grounds you. It tells your nervous system, we are safe, we are not rushing, we are not controlled by urgency, and the mind responds. Step 2. Design a digital off switch. You don't need to be online all day. Seriously, who told us we had to be constantly available? That's slavery disguised as connection. The Stoics would have laughed at this nonsense. They practiced voluntary discomfort, choosing time alone, choosing silence, choosing separation from the crowd. You need the same. Have a set time when you shut everything off, airplane mode, screen away, headphones out. Even 30 minutes in the evening without input will change your brain chemistry. You'll sleep deeper, think clearer, feel more like yourself. You'll remember what it's like to exist without reacting to something every 5 seconds. Step 3. Anchor a reset ritual. Midday life gets heavy. Tension builds up. Stress stacks. That's why the Stoics believed in resetting the mind multiple times a day. Marcus Aurelius would pause during battle campaigns to breathe and reflect. He didn't wait for peace. He brought it with him. You can do the same. Even just one moment in your day. Step outside, close your eyes, feel the wind, say nothing. No goals, no productivity, just a mental reset. It tells your mind, I'm not my stress, I'm not my role, I'm still here. And that's the real Stoic strength. Not ignoring the chaos, but protecting your peace in the middle of it. Because here's the truth. If you don't have rituals of silence, your anxiety will create rituals of panic. That's what overthinking is. That's what doom scrolling is. That's what emotional burnout is. It's the result of never checking in with yourself, of being so connected to the world that you disconnect from yourself. But not anymore. From now on, you create sacred space in your day, not to escape, but to return. Return to clarity, return to stillness, return to that part of you that never needed noise in the first place. Drop this in the comments if you're making this shift today. I protect my peace. Silence is my power. Number 4. Choose stillness over reaction. Let me ask you something real. When you get triggered, when someone says something that cuts deep, when your phone buzzes with bad news, when your mind jumps straight to worst-case scenarios, what do you really do? Most of us react instantly. Anger, panic, overthinking, a flood of emotions that feels impossible to stop, and then we regret it. The truth? Reacting is the mind on autopilot. It's the same old story playing in your head, but louder and faster. The Stoics saw this clearly. Epictetus said it like this: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This isn't just a clever line, it's a battle cry against chaos. Because here's the deal. You can't control what hits you, but you can control your response. The difference between sinking into anxiety or rising above it is that tiny space between stimulus and reaction. That pause is your power. Think about it. When someone cuts you off in traffic, what's your gut reaction? Honk, yell, curse? Or take a breath, remind yourself they might be rushing for a reason, and move on. When a text triggers old insecurities, do you spiral? Or do you breathe, notice the feeling, and refuse to feed the fire? That pause is your fortress. But here's the thing most people don't get. Choosing stillness over reaction is hard. Your brain is wired to react fast. It's survival mode. Anxiety hijacks that mechanism. You feel unsafe, so you fight or flee. But the Stoics say you can train your mind to choose stillness instead. How? It starts with awareness. The next time anxiety spikes, stop, look inward, ask, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Is this reaction helpful or hurting me? Most reactions come from habit, not truth. They're old patterns playing out, stories you tell yourself that have nothing to do with the present. By naming your emotions, I feel angry, I feel scared, you pull them out of the shadows. You watch instead of act, and in that watching, you find a stillness deeper than the chaos. You become the master of your mind, not its prisoner. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every day. He reminded himself, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That power is yours. You don't have to react every time the world demands it. You can build a mental wall, a quiet space between what happens and how you respond. That space is freedom. And freedom from reaction is freedom from anxiety. You learn to respond with clarity, not chaos. With calm, not panic. With reason, not fear. That's how you break the cycle. Because anxiety feeds on reaction. The more you react, the stronger it gets. But when you choose stillness, you starve it. This isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about mastering it. It's okay to feel, but don't let your feelings drive the car. You're the driver. So practice this daily. Before responding, take a breath, count to 3. Ask yourself, is this reaction helping me? Is this feeling based on truth or fear? And if the answer is fear, let it go. Choose stillness. Choose peace. I want you to drop this in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your response. I am the master of my reactions. Number 5. Turn pain into presence. Pain and anxiety often come as unwelcome guests. They show up uninvited, dragging you into dark places. You might think pain is the enemy, something to avoid at all costs. But the Stoics teach us something radical. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. In other words, your pain is part of your path. When anxiety rises, it's not just something to fight or run from. It's a signal, a call to come back to the present moment. Think about it. How often do you get lost in the future, worried about what might happen, or trapped in the past, replaying mistakes over and over. Pain and anxiety yank you out of the present, but they also offer a chance to wake up. Because the only place you can ever find peace is here, right now, in this moment. The Stoics remind us that suffering isn't from life itself, but from our judgment of life. If you can learn to be with your pain, without running, without fighting, you become stronger. How? By turning your attention fully into the present. Notice your breath, feel your body, listen to the sounds around you. Pain loses its power when you stop resisting it. It's like a wave. Trying to swim against it will tire you, but riding the wave brings you to shore. When you turn pain into presence, anxiety stops being a monster. It becomes a teacher, a signal that your mind is off track, a reminder to return to what truly matters: your breath, your senses, your now. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This means embracing discomfort, even humiliation, is part of the journey. When you accept pain as part of your growth, you stop fearing it. And without fear, anxiety loses its grip. Here's how to practice this. The next time anxiety rises, don't run. Sit with it. Focus on your breathing. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the texture of your clothes. Say to yourself, "I am here. I am present. This feeling will pass." This simple practice rewires your brain. It pulls you out of spirals and into peace. Pain becomes presence. Presence becomes power. And power becomes freedom. You don't need to wait for life to be easy. You don't need to wait to feel safe. You create safety by being fully here, right now. This is the final Stoic law to beat anxiety. You've learned to face the storm, let go, build quiet, choose stillness. Now it's time to turn pain into presence, because that's where true peace lives. Drop this in the comments if you're ready to turn your pain into power. I turn pain into presence. You've taken the first steps to mastering your mind in a world that never stops yelling. Remember, these 5 Stoic laws aren't quick fixes. They're lifelong practices. Each one is a tool to help you reclaim your peace. You don't have to wait for the world to change. You don't have to wait for anxiety to disappear. You can start now, right where you are. Start small. Be patient. Keep coming back. Because peace isn't found outside. It's built inside. The Stoics remind us that life is unpredictable, but your mind doesn't have to be. You can become the calm in the chaos, the quiet in the noise, the power in the storm. If you commit to these laws, you'll discover a strength that anxiety can never touch. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like it. Comment your favorite law or affirmation below. Share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe for more real, practical wisdom. Your peace is worth fighting for. And now, you have the tools. Drop this in the comments to seal your commitment. I am the calm in the chaos. I master my mind.